Hello and welcome to DADA Talk, where we have conversations on issues that affect women not only in Kenya but in Africa. I'm your host and my name is Sheila. Don't forget to click the notification bell. So let us dive right in. As you can see, I'm with the lady in red, Judy Wairimu, who we're going to talk to today. Please, Judy, introduce yourself and tell us what you used to do, because what you are doing now is what the main conversation is about.
Well, good morning, audience. It's my pleasure to be in this place today. I'm Judy, as you've heard from Sharon. I'm a life coach and a mentor at the same time. So, for the past around 10 years or so, I was working. But at a certain point, I had to come back and know who I am. And right now, that is what I'm doing on the life coach part of it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where we are going to start with. So i- let's talk about when life actually started for you after finishing high school and then now you're in the outside world. Tell me about your journey from there. How did you start work? How did you start life in general?
Wow. I cleared my Form 4 in 2003. And then after that, I joined college. I did a diploma in business management. And then after that, I started working. I worked on a financial institution for close to 5 years. Then after that, I moved to Nairobi, where I worked with some Indians. We were doing some projects with them. I worked with them for around 3 years. And then that is where my contract ended. From there, I started an online class on harnessing my brilliance.
Okay,
Yes.
all right. And it's very funny that most people, especially in this pandemic era, they are complaining about the negative side of it. But it's very interesting that for you, it has edified you, and in as much as it brought about loss, it brought about you gaining a paradigm shift that has changed and is continuing to change your life. So tell me about when the pandemic started and then you lost your job. Just tell me about that.
Wow. It has not been an easy journey for me. For the past 1 year, I lost my contract, or rather, my contract ended. Then that is back in October 2019. From then, I had to shift my mind on what really do I want to do. By then, my daughter was joining Form 1. Actually, I'm a mother of two girls. She was joining Form 1, and I had to focus myself. What will happen for her to go to Form 1? That is the time I initiated, and I had to gather courage within myself. What do I really want to focus on? And that is where I directed myself on doing online classes.
Okay. In the wake of the pandemic era now, so many people are concerned and complaining about the negatives that the pandemic has brought. But for you, in as much as it brought about some loss, it brought about your edification and you discovering yourself, and as a result a paradigm shift that you are working on and working towards very very diligently. Tell me about how you lost your job as a result of the pandemic, and how you have found yourself again, and now you've started doing work that is your purpose now.
Wow. It has brought a lot of transition in my life. Actually, after I lost the contract, I had now to bring myself together and also focus so much on the life ahead. You see, through this pandemic, people have also lost their job. But
Yes.
unfortunately, many people have lost also hope. I decided I'm not going to lose hope in this life because this life it's a matter of shift from one area to the other. So what I did, I had to align myself back again and do a lot of strategies amongst myself, and that is where I came up with going back to school and did an online class on harnessing my brilliance.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, tell me about the class and how it has assisted you. And because when you talk about it, you're really excited, and you have even referred me to the class, and that I should take it, that to help me get to the next level. Maybe this class owner should give you, the marketing job, because you're very passionate about it. So just tell me about the class and what it's about and how it's changed your life.
Wow. Being have worked as an accountant, I later learned that I'm actually not supposed to be an accountant. I came to learn that I'm supposed to be a life coach person,
Okay.
where you give, according to this class, you harness your brilliance. What are you supposed to be doing in this life? What best are you supposed to bring in this life?
Yeah.
It's not just a matter of sitting in the office and being employed. You also need to go outside there, talk to somebody, give somebody hope, give somebody healing. And that is how far, that is how actually I came to learn about myself. Who am I? Who is Judy?
Okay.
Am I just Judy? What have you been called to do in this world?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and living life properly as a life coach, I think you can agree with me that living life properly means knowing yourself and being self aware on what it is that's going on in your life, in your personal life, in your professional life. So, how did you know that you're not supposed to be in the accounting business and that you're supposed to be? How does someone know? You know, yeah.
Now, in the first place, we there is that thing that God has given you, a God-given gift. You might be an accountant, yes, but on the other hand, what if God called you to be an auditor, or even to be a speaker, or even to be a cameraman, like our camera guys here? So what happened to me when I started joining this class, according to the life experience that I have, being a mother of two, being employed, in which I felt it is still not satisfactory to me. And then I met this young lady who had been sick.
Yeah.
I became her support person. I didn't know that I was like a guardian to her. And then when I started doing the Harness Your Brilliance class, I came more aware about myself. What am I supposed to do in my society? All right?
Yeah.
So out of that, I've now come to know that I'm supposed to be a life coach, somebody that is giving healing, somebody that is giving hope to my fellow ladies, to my Kenyans, to the world at large. Because everybody, especially during this pandemic, many people need a lot of hope. Like, yes, you'll make it. This is not the end. Yes.
Okay. And indeed, Mudhoni, wewe ni mwanamke bomba, right? Because, okay, we'll get back to the professional side of your coaching work. But let's talk a bit about you have two children. And just tell me about your journey as a mother. And she doesn't refer to herself as a single mother, by the way. That's not her. She's a full person. So just tell me about motherhood and what it has taught you, the challenges, and your journey overall.
Wow. Being a mother, one, it is a gift from God for you to be a mother, for you to carry that baby. For you, either you have a spouse or you don't have, but God has already given you that. That is a job. You're entitled to do that at full. Unfortunately, we as women, we tend to think that if I am raising this kid alone, I can't make it. But I purposed I must make it, come rain, come sunshine. Because these children, if I don't make up to them, who will make up to them? All right?
Yeah.
So I had to gather myself and tell Judy, you're not single. You are full the way you are.
Yeah.
This narrative of being single, I don't know actually where it came from. I think it came from the Western. But me being a mother, I'm full. I am Judy.
Yeah.
Even in my ID, it's not written single Judy
Mama.
Wairimu.
Yes,
No,
yes,
it's
yes.
just Judy.
Yeah.
So for me, being a mother, it is such a good journey. I've been able to bring a teenage. Right now, I'm raising a teenage. The way I was raised as a teenage is not the way I'm raising this girl.
Yeah.
You need to know who she is. How can you work with her? She has a lot of challenges.
Right.
But you, as a mother, how are you taking her? Are you blaming her over everything? Are you able to show her the positive side of life? All right? If it is in terms of whatever she needs, by the grace of God, I'm able to bring up everything for them. Yes.
Yeah.
I also
Okay.
have another one who is 8 years old. She's in class one. She's also doing fine.
Yeah.
And I'm very free with these girls. Yes, I think, not I think, I'm the best mother that they could have prayed for.
Okay.
None other mother.
Okay.
Yes.
And as you can see, her spirit is what I think she brings to the world, and it's her gift to her to the world because of how she is positive and how she's determined through thick and thin to raise her girls very, very well. Okay, back to your coaching work. You are very particular on hope.
Yes.
Well, how do you define hope?
Hope. Wow. Hope is it's a mutual thing that helps you not to give up no matter what. You should never give up in this life. Even God tells you, I will always be with you. So if God is not on your side, who will be on your side?
Right.
That is hope.
Okay.
That is all I can define about hope.
Okay.
Because if it were not for hope, I couldn't be where I am right now. Yes.
And also, you've mentioned you're very big on your spiritual wellness as well.
Yes.
You believe in God.
Yes.
How do you think God is im- okay, sorry. How do you define God, and why do you think that God is important for you as a person and for the work that you do?
Wow. In the first place, I was created in the image of God. So when you see yourself, Sharon, you are God. When you see Judy, she's God. And on the other hand, our God is a loving God. Our God is a forgiving God. Our God is a God that we can't live without God. I mean, if it were not for Him, who could I be right now?
Okay.
What if I was worshiping Sharon? I believe God is everything to me. Everything is all about God. No more, no less. You can't tell me anything else, Sharon.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and God is important and key to everyone's survival on
Yes.
earth, right? So how do you bring that out in your work, and how do you bring that out in your work?
Wow. Now, when I'm doing the life coach, if if say for example you have passed through a certain issue, a pressing issue, may it be separation, may it be divorce, may it be sickness, first you need to accept. Since God has already accepted you, you also need to accept yourself. Since God has called you to be His own child, who are you calling yourself to be? Are you of the world, or are you of God? So I believe in God there is everything.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And why do you think your work is important? Why should people enroll?
I believe life is a journey. And if life is a journey, it's one day at a time. So I believe my life coach with everybody else, it will bring who you are, who have you been called to be. What do you really want to do in this life? Yes. I need to bring a lot of healing and a lot of hope and a lot of, you need to see the next day and the next day. Yes.
Okay, and the next dimension of your work, Anchor, is also is healing.
Yes.
So when you say healing, it doesn't necessarily mean physical sickness.
Yes.
Please let us in on that.
Wow. As I have told you, audience, I'm a mother of two. These children, their dads are alive. I'm not ashamed of saying that. But I had to accept whatever transition I had to accept. I don't need to blame him or blame myself, because in the first place we played the same role for us to have gotten into a divorce or even a separation situation.
Every person plays a role in the break
Yes.
of any kind of relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
And never ever point a finger at somebody. Because the moment we join each other, I don't know you, you don't know me. So we need to learn each other, be patient with each other's temperaments. Because I think that is also another thing that people are truly failing.
Yeah.
If I understand you and you understand me, I believe this world will be a better place.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So healing comes from accepting
Yes.
and understanding
Yes.
and acknowledging my own mistake.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also forgiving yourself. That is the other thing that people are forgetting. Nowadays, when somebody wrongs you, you keep the wrong for, I think, for many years.
Yeah.
But if you teach yourself how to forgive yourself and also forgive the other person, life is very easy. That is actually what I did. I had to forgive myself before I even forgive the other person. And out of that, and then we forgive each other. And that is why I am here smiling.
Mhm.
There was a time I could cry from morning to noon, no eating. I was so thin.
Mm.
I was, I think, around 45 kgs.
Okay.
But right now I'm beyond that.
Okay.
Right now I can talk to a person who is around 50 years, and I can truly encourage you. You might think I'm small, but this brain has a lot to offer to you people.
Okay.
Yes.
So how can someone tell that it's actually time to get help? Because especially with the pandemic, a lot of people are at home and now they are not busy or distracted, and it's time to face yourself. It's time to actually deal with what you need to deal with. How does someone know that it's time to see you as a specialist?
Wow. I'm going to give a good scenario about myself. In the first place, I prayed to God and I asked God, I want you to remove anybody or anything that will distract this journey of mine. Remove all of them and bring me the right people. That is exactly what happened to me. If God brings you the right people, I'm telling you, there's nothing that you see that is hard. You'll even be able to have an open talk with somebody who you can confide with. Also, that person, if that person has been sent and sent by God to you, he or she will never let you down.
Okay.
He or she will be able to walk with you, pray with you, show you the positive part of it. Yes, yes, you have failed, but you're not a failure.
Yeah.
All right?
Right.
It doesn't matter whether the words that were spoken against you by our forefathers, those words I usually say, I nullify them. When these children of mine were going back to school yesterday, I had to lay hands on them and speak positive words to them. Whatever I start saying, oh, now Bridget, how will she perform? She's a failure.
Yeah.
Actually, when she goes to school, she'll be a failure. What if you tell her, baby girl, you make it? She'll go to school being a happy lady.
Yeah.
Yes, so it's a matter of praying and praying and praying and praying. Don't stop praying. Pray until you pray.
Okay.
Yes.
So with prayer, you will be able to be more understanding of yourself.
Yes.
You'll be able to see that hi hapa kuna shida, and then you pray for a solution.
Yes.
And then the solution will probably come.
Yes.
Okay, so as we draw to a conclusion, um how can people reach you, and how can people find your work online? How can people reach you?
Well, um, I have my handles. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me also on Instagram. And also, I can also give you my personal number.
Okay.
If you need to reach me at any time, actually, unless I'm in church,
Mhm.
even if it is 3 a.m.,
Mhm.
call me and you tell me, Judy, I want us to pray.
Okay.
Judy, this is what I'm facing right now. I'll be able to work with you. I'll be able to talk to you by the grace of God.
Okay.
I'm not doing this for my own sake. It's just for the sake of God.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, and then how long would someone need to set aside? Because a program that goes to change your life can not only take an hour. I'm assuming it's an ongoing
Yes.
process. How long would someone need to commit to be able to finish a particular program with you?
Uh, what truly matters is also, in the first place, are you willing? The willing spirit is also very important. There's somebody that will come and we have the first session, and then that person feels, I'm okay now, or I can continue. So it will be a learning process. Even if you take 1 year, my main purpose is for me to see you have emerged to be what you're supposed to be.
Yes.
Yes, I'm not going to let you until I see umefika.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, sawa sawa. And there you have it. Thank you so much for making time for us. And as you can see today, Judy Wairimu is a very, very dedicated worker to help you live your best life. And so maybe if you could tell us specifically on Facebook, what is your name, because that's where you're most active.
Wow. My name on Facebook is Judy Modoni. You'll find me there, brown lady, seated somewhere. And also on Instagram, I'm there. My handle on Instagram is Judy Modoni85. Also on Twitter is JUD24140895 small j. And also my phone numbers are 0716 you can reach on me in either. And also my email. I hope you have a pen there. My email address is jumodhoni85@gmail.com. Available anytime, any moment, even after this. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Judy, for making time for us. And that's all we had for you today. Remember, I'm your host, and my name is Sheila. And thank you so much for joining us and staying through to the end of the video. Make sure you click the notification bell, like us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and also follow us on LinkedIn. We are at Dada Digital News across. And please download our app on Android App Store, Google App Store, and also check out our site at dadadigital.co.ke. Till next time, make sure you keep safe, sanitize, and wear your mask or double mask. Ciao.